Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and thank you for being here. And today we are going back to the beginning in a way because the basis was very, very important for me. And one of the first persons that I interviewed in 2020, it was this beautiful lady, Kacie Knight, that you can find that, I believe it was the first one, if I'm not wrong, in 2020. And let me tell you a little bit about her because she was my teacher. And when I was needing to believe in myself when I was doing light language, that because I was hiding in the shadows of doing my light language, it was with this beautiful woman, with Kacie. So she was one of my first teachers that helped me believe in myself and don't be afraid to actually speak it out loud. And that is being just a big change for me in believing in yourself. So she helped me with that. Kacie Knight, it is a multidimensional divine channel, a spiritual teacher, an ascension guide. And first of all, Kacie, thank you so much for being the first and being right now with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. And this is just so exciting because it does feel very full circle, really. So much has changed in the last 5 years or so, almost 6 years, really.
Yeah, it's been a while. And that's something that if we the people actually understand, is this look back for everything they have passed through, everything that they have grown and their mind have changed and expanded and everything, even in their own ascension process. It is a big game changer because if we see the ladder going up, it's like, oh my God, I have to go so many steps. I'm not going to get there. But we have done it. We have done all that work. And of course, there's more to come. That is the beauty of life, right?
Absolutely. And it's felt like several decades squeezed into these few years. There's been so much shedding and so much activation, and just witnessing not just the people who've been doing the work and stepping into leadership, which is amazing. I've loved watching you step forward and shine and own your magic, but also, I'm sure you can speak to this, witnessing how many more people have come onto the path and how many more people are, like actively doing this work now, and the people that were maybe starting off in 2020, which was not you, but you had been doing the work for a while, now they're stepping into leadership roles, and it just keeps on going. It's amazing.
Yes. And start from the beginning and say, what is Ascension? You're an Ascension guide. So start from the beginning. I know many people already know, but many people that are going to be seeing this video might be curious about what is Ascension.
I really love this question because there's a lot of distortion and a lot of weird ideas about ascension. And I stopped calling myself an ascension guide for a while because I didn't want to always be associated with some ideas that just didn't feel true. So I was using other words. But I've actually just come back around in the last like week or two to calling myself an embodied ascension guide, because as we are going through this process of evolution, the luminous evolution and the return to remembering who we are as multidimensional souls, expanding our consciousness into our multidimensional awareness, and really just shedding all the stuff that's in front of that divine light that we always have been. I think ascension is twofold. There's a journey of the ascending of your consciousness back to the unity field and remembering that we are all connected and all of these other gifts from that. But there's also a soul embodiment process that is occurring where we are making more space for our soul to actually inhabit our bodies and be here with us. And then there's so many other facets to it as we are really in the process of like lightening up physically, energetically, mentally, spiritually. Um, but really, I think it's this process of returning to that which we've always been.
It's, and remembering.
Yes, exactly. And there, yeah, the physical ascension, though, out of the energy of scarcity and fear and separation and elevating or ascending back to that unity field where we remember our divine connection and we get to experience it as like a very physical, tangible thing instead of some mental concept is, I think, the most important part of the journey that we're on right now.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And something that I was with what you sent me, you have a new modality that is energy alchemy modality. So tell us a little bit about what it is.
Sure. This was in its infancy when we were working together, but through my own embodied experience, working with clients and groups, and also channeling from Gaia and my highest self, I have created this modality that is a light body activation technology. So we work in sacred space with the luminous team and also really, really clearly with Gaia, the consciousness of this planet. And and the highest self and source of the person that we're working with or with the group. And we do alchemical transmutation of density and turn it into light, turn the shit into gold, and make room for the soul. So there's a lot of light and sound and intention and energy work that we're doing. But then there's also the activation of soul gifts and activation of different aspects of somebody's field, usually facilitated by their guide team or aspects of their multidimensional self that are like, here, you forgot this part of you, but I've been keeping it safe. And then people get to kind of restore that divine flow and again, remember who they are and who they've always been. And it's a really sounds very complicated when I'm explaining it that way, but how I can also describe it is it's almost like a plant medicine journey, but without eating or smoking or ingesting a plant. We're working with Gaia, the plant medicine mama. She has all of these energies in her. And so we work with her for the opening of the heart and the expanding of consciousness and all of the alchemy and shadow work and activations that can come through journeys like that. And they're Gaia guided alchemical journeys to remember who we are.
There are thousands of ways to get high, but the best
Yeah,
way to get high is not introducing anything, just
yeah,
connecting to higher consciousness. I totally agree with you. I have
yeah,
that's experienced a bunch of times. There is not an easy way to explain it except for you feel high, but
yeah.
high in love, in that connection with high vibration, and you feel yes that way. So that is beautiful. Do you do it with different practitioners that you teach, or you are the only one doing it with people? How you're managing this new
So I
modality?
Yeah, well, it began with me and my client sessions and my groups, and some of them were adventures that we would go on together when we were doing our group work. And now I do have a practitioner facilitation certification where I teach people how to hold that space. And a really big feature of it is actually getting out of the way and letting the teams do the work. So it's my favorite practice for lazy practitioners and soulpreneurs because we get to experience all of the benefits, but we don't get tired out by having to do all the space holding and activations and clearing and cleaning. It's really facilitating the divine energies that are so ready to work with us.
And then I imagine that is in a way removing yourself from the ego, controlling fully your ego, because or else you would not get out of the way. Right.
Yes, being a divine channel and letting that flow through is really key. And that's one of the things that we practice. But the ego is integrated as opposed to rejected and gotten out of the way. Because I feel like it's really about coming into coherence, body, mind, heart, soul, all of the different ego levels and the divine levels, and really being in that trust and surrender. And I do also have a bunch of energetic practices that we use to prep the field before we do the activations that help with that. We get Gaia to come in and actually fortify the nervous system, which translates light. So when she comes up in your body and you ask her or command her, invite her to do whatever she can to move through your nervous system to help you with your intuition, it is fabulous how people who might think that they're not ready to do that work, that level of work, because they don't have all of their third eye open or anything like that, they're like, oh, wow, I actually know, right? They can follow the info because they're getting that divine support.
Yes, when I have connect to Mother Gaia, when I do it in every session and so forth, it is a very different sensation that if you connect to the higher self or angels or guides or actuaries, whatever you want to call them, or whoever they're connecting to. It is that unconditional love that Mother Gaia give that many people do not even understand what it is unconditional love. It is a word that is being thrown around so much that it lost the meaning. What it is unconditional love. So I understand it, but I would like to come from your words to our viewers so like that they understand what it is. It is beautiful, but please.
It is. And, you know, I want to make a distinction too between the energy that I work with that has the most unconditional love, which is like that Sophia, Holy Spirit, Divine Feminine flow. And we work with that one a lot to do energy. And then also Gaia has that similar, but to me, slightly different energy as well. And the people that work with me who are in my practitioner training, they don't only think of her as a mother. So, yes, they get the unconditional love from her, but they get in her a partner and a friend. And she's actually like, she can show up in that love and she will hold you and she will be so amazing, but she'll also be like really silly. She'll be kind of like flirty and dirty and kinky and like full of this really sensual, sexual energy too. So, she can show up in whatever way that we are working with her, but the realms of divine love that we can access with the team are the ones that I think restore us, right? I think the main wound that humanity has being here on earth is feeling separate and feeling unloved and not feeling that divine energy holding and hugging us all the time. And that separation creates all of the issues that we're currently experiencing. And when I bring people into that experience of the divine love, they so often weep. They will just cry because it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I'd been missing this. You know, it's so, so profoundly moving that it feels that hole that's in your heart that so many people will look to food or drugs or alcohol or something like that to fill. It just makes us feel like we are home.
Yes. And this is actually bringing me something that a lot of people have asked me, and because there's a different stages that the women we go.
Mhm.
And the menopause is one of our stages, the all women we're gonna go or we are there. And it changed everything after the menopause. The way we observe life, the way we what do we wanna leave behind because we know we're in a different stage than instead of procreating life, it is what are we're gonna be leaving behind. It is a very different way to observe even life. But that goes also with our sexual energy. And
Mhm.
with our sexual energy, also the menopause changed it completely that when we were younger. So I imagine because you were mentioning that Gaia comes with all this sassy and with also all this energy and so forth. How we work Gaia with this practice that you're having with women that are after menopause? Because believe me, many of our viewers are passing through that and they have these questions.
Yeah, well, I am not in menopause yet. And also, I want to speak to that transition from mother or maiden to mother and then to matriarch, not just crone. I think we're skipping a whole step. That menopausal energy is where we're really embodying the matriarchal leader energy. And I know Gaia can be an ally with that. She can hold the energy and responsibility with you so it doesn't feel like you're holding the weight of the world on your shoulders, which can happen when we're doing it alone. She can support hormonally the whole endocrine system as well as the nervous system. She can work with you to create a flow that can restore the balance in a way that you can also find, I'm sure, from hormone therapy and other things, but deepening that connection to the earth can allow the energetics to flow so much more beautifully so you don't feel like you're missing something. It's there with you. And that she's just always speaking to me when I'm talking about her, and she's like the sensual, sexual, playful energy actually gets more powerful when you allow for that, because the womb is no longer focused on creating life, but it can still be extra focused on creation energy, creation of legacy, like you were speaking to. Creativity can be so heightened, and there's just so much raw, untapped potential that she wants to explore with people. So if anyone is wondering, she's like, connect with me and let's find out together how good it can get.
And that is beautiful because that is so needed too. Is
Right.
we go through all this through all the changes. Every single human being, males too, they have their
Mhm.
andropause, and I bet they go to a almost similar process as that. But going back again to the energy that you were talking about, working with Gaia and things like that, you also mentioned Sophia. And for the ones that don't know about Pisti Sophia, I highly recommend you to search about that because it is beautiful information that comes from Sophia. Can you please just, I know it's a lot to talk about Sophia, but it is, but just a little synopsis what it is, Sophia, so the people understand that she's very, very important in our lives.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different expressions and fractals of this information, but I think what I want to speak to is the Christed consciousness, and that crystalline frequency that so many people are bringing forward and embodying right now is not just a masculine energy. There's the Christos and the Sophia energy that are in divine union, so it's the masculine and the feminine energies working together, and the Sophia energy is the one that has been missing from like basically all of the patriarchal religions and philosophies. It's been erased from the history, and it is the one that is returning now. It's already returned to the planet, and through women like us and just the energy of the earth itself, people are remembering that divine feminine power, right? That is not like, it is the purest of love, but it's also this this energy that restores and renews, but also destroys anything that's no longer in alignment with love. So it has this beautiful wholeness to it, and I think this restoration is what's going to return the balance to the planet.
Yes, it is the knowledge, is the
Mm-hmm.
side of the source, in a way, the creative side of source is
Mm-hmm.
female side, Sophia. And guys, you can Google this Pisti Sophia. You're gonna find books. You're gonna find it's a very ancient energy and knowledge that we have lost, humanity, that we need to bring it back because it is here. Even if you're gonna tap on it, but you will not know the name. Now you do, and search for it. Look for it inside of you. You can search the information outside, but that is very important that we have to integrate it to ourselves. Hi everyone, this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And if you have been feeling stuck where you are right now, or if you have felt that you cannot connect with others in the same language or the same emotions that you're feeling, if you're a coach, a healer, energy worker in any of those branches, maybe this is for you. Because we have felt the disconnection for the rest of our family, friends, that we cannot connect to them. And we're so afraid to actually go deep dive when we're getting triggered by our own clients because we're seeing our mirror image with them. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and that's my spiritual name. And I take clients from feeling confused and feeling stuck to feeling free, to feeling that they feel empowered from themselves. I created a system, Path to the Heart, that goes in 3 levels. And the first level, it is healing the inner child, healing the parts of us that we've been so afraid, or it's very painful to do it. I have done it myself, not only with me, and I have done it with many, many of my clients, that I take them to this process. The second level, it is to go more into inner self, clearing the family lineage, to breaking the contracts and vows, learning deeper more about the laws of the universe. And the third level, it is learning how to channel, how to do waking up your and getting online your gifts, your unique gifts that the world so much needs right now. So, if you wanted to know more about this, I am eager to show you and to teach you all what I know that I use every day in my life. So, thank you for being here in this page. I really appreciate it. And this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love.
And it feels to me when we're talking about knowledge, it's more rather than the logos and the word, which feels more of that masculine, it's the gnosis, the inner knowing, the intuition, the embodied wisdom, the mystical experience that isn't just a mental exercise, it's that embodied experience. And so getting to know her, like you said, through the inner exploration and alchemy is the best way because read, but then you have to go in and like play with it yourself so you can feel it because it is truly beyond words. Like the words will point the way, but they're not the whole expression of it.
And also, you talk about speaking with your voice, with your soul voice.
Mm.
Tell us a little bit about that because I know you teach this. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, the most powerful thing we can ever do is express ourselves authentically with our unique tones and frequencies and soul signature. And we can do that in English. We can do that in art, as you do. We can do it in writing. But our soul voice can also be expressed through tones, through our words. And we've played going beyond words with light language, which is a fun multidimensional communication art form where you're sharing and you can actually sing, sign, write, tone, you can even dance light language, but it's whole packages of electromagnetic information that you can receive and download whole concepts or just have like the feeling and the thought of it without it needing to have say an English or Spanish or Russian equivalent or translation. So activating your soul voice, especially if you are here as a teacher, a light worker, a healer, a guide, an entrepreneur, or an artist. So basically, anybody that's doing anything or creating anything, it's the most important thing we can do. Authenticity is the highest frequency. And I think expressing ourselves authentically is rough because of all of our programs and all of our beliefs and all of the traumas we've had in this life and other lifetimes where it was not safe to be fully expressed. And I love playing with light language, not just for the joy of it, though that's really, really fun, but using it as a way to tap into that creative soul voice that gets beyond the head and allows us to tap into the divine flow. And we can start to speak from our soul voice, from our human self, or from our multidimensional soul self, which is really fun too. So, so many different places that you can play with it. But I know as an artist, you have tapped into your soul voice in so many ways. So I'm curious to ask you, if you don't mind, How do you feel that speaking or tapping into your soul voice in general and also through light language has allowed you to express yourself in your business and your life?
I do. I remember at the beginning, that's why I took the class 5 years ago, and it was coming out, it was showing up. When I, in that time, I used to do Reiki in the traditional way, and I changed that modality in my own way, my own uniqueness. But in that time, I was trying to be traditional, like society teaches. The society teaches to do this is step one, two, three, and you just follow your teacher and continue doing that. And the light language was showing up. It was coming up, and um, and I was trying to hold it because it's like the people, what are they gonna think about me? And I don't know, no, no, no. All these ideas and fears and shames and fears of rejection. That's when you're gonna be trying. I was trying to hold myself in that. Once that I let it out, not caring what the other people are gonna think or if they think I'm crazy, whatever it is, or they channeling messages at the same time, that's when everything changed in my life.
Mm.
It was true because we stop being followers. In the moment that you have the audacity, the courage to actually speak like language or sing or dance, whatever it is, or paint light language, you go to the next stage because you believe in yourself and you stop being a follower of society norms. You don't care about the rejection. You don't care about people pleasing. You care about you and that inner connection that comes and open you up. And that's when the magic actually really starts.
Hmm.
So that
Absolutely.
to my paintings, I stopped trying to be someone else. And that comes
Mm.
with the integrity that's doing light language and not trying to copy anyone because it is impossible to copy light language. It is impossible to say the words because you know the meaning when you're saying the words, but you cannot say, oh, this word means this. And like English or Spanish or any language in the world, it is very different, light language. So
Hmm.
yes, in that way, I'm very grateful that you get
Mm.
that courage that I was really needing to actually integrate it with all my practices that I do now.
Mm, I love that. And your voice is so beautiful when you are sharing it, but the even more audaciously bold and powerful part is just that light in you being expressed without censorship because we hold back so much. I love, love, love that that was part of your journey because I see you creating so much writing, art, your podcast, all of these things. I know get leveled up when we liberate our voice and start speaking from the soul.
Yes, because we tend to hide ourselves from people.
Hmm.
We are so much people pleasers and beggars of love that we contain that until you let go those fears of being you.
Hmm.
That's when you actually can connect to higher realms. Because the higher realms are always around us. We just have to open up to receive that.
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like we become a frequency match for that multidimensional expression when we're in our authenticity, because that is one of the highest frequencies. So we just suddenly have access to so much more of our magic, as you were saying.
Yes. Casey, also I would like to ask you about you're having a master class. Uh, so tell us a little bit about that, the master class that you have at the Evergreen
Oh, I think I was mentioning my mastermind.
Mastermind. I'm sorry.
And no, that's okay. Because I was like, I have a master class. Which one? I, I often teach them, but I was like, do I? Um, there are so many things that I love to teach. I love my certifications. I love teaching people how to build businesses, how to activate their soul voice, how to do all of this beautiful alchemy and do the ascension pieces. And I always really put it into something really practical, like learning light language or building a business. And I realized last year that I needed a home to just activate and expand people's magic and support them in their ascension in a really stable, grounded, and practical way that could help them build more abundance, build their business, create more authenticity, pleasure, potency, all of that in their life. So I actually opened up a magical as fuck mastermind, which is an all access pass to all of the things that I teach, as well as having the mastermind component where we get to be in ceremony with Gaia and receive activations, and then also get the coaching and the integration that actually allows all of the energy work to stick and be integrated. And it's for entrepreneurs, light workers, healers, people that are already on the mastery path who want to be held in the fullness of their experience, right? Not just for business and not just for their spiritual evolution, but to be able to weave them together is such a special thing. And so it's a really exciting place that I've created. And it is an evergreen program. So we can welcome in new souls anytime someone is inspired to join us. But it is a 1 year program. So we can walk together through each season and really have the time to clear and clean out the crap and then activate that next level of soul embodiment.
That is beautiful and so necessary. So, yes, I will be posting down below this video and this podcast the information so you can sign in or you can get a hold on Aurora and Casey, sorry. And in Casey, so like that you can get a hold on her. It's been really my pleasure, Casey, to have you here again in Soul
Mm.
Talk. It has been wonderful to remember the wonderful and amazing self-trust that you actually inject me. That
Oh,
it was so necessary to have.
Oh, I am so grateful we got to reconnect, and I've been just so cheering you on and rooting for you and seeing the things that you have been creating. And so the fact that I have gotten a chance to play a small part in that just brings me such great joy because my favorite thing is to help the helpers who are here on the soul mission to light up the world. Because I know when we do that, we can ripple things out. So thank you so much for choosing to activate that next level of confidence and trust in yourself so that you could create all of this magic that you are then sharing with everybody that encounters you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Casey. And
Mm.
her information is going to be down below. And please, I recommend you to sign up because it is going to, we have a self-doubt part of us, and you can change that and you can flip that. And here's one way to do it. Thank you so much, Casey. I really appreciate you.